Hey everybody, this is Vince Gilligan, creator of Breaking Bad. Today I'm here to talk about all the mistakes in this series. They can be continuity errors, factual errors, or crew equipment visible, etc. Let's start with the first episode of Season 1, Pilot. The opening scene shows Walt's pants floating in midair in slow motion, and then moments later the RV runs over it. Since the pants were hanging on the side mirror, they shouldn't be in front of the RV. And later, at the end of the flashback, the pants are shown falling off the mirror, but this time they fall behind the RV. A hidden camera behind a bush can be seen on the right side of the screen immediately after the RV crashes against a rock. No pair of underpants in the world is able to hold such a fairly big and heavy handgun if it's just tucked into the waistband. Well, maybe Walt's Tidy Whitey's underpants is specially made for that. Walt lies awake, and when he watches the clock, it says it's 5:02 in the morning. When Walt gets out of bed, a couple of seconds later, the clock says it's 5:01. Walt's 50th birthday was on September 7th, 2008. It was a Sunday, however. He and Walter Jr. still had to go to school. In the bedroom scene, a light screen is reflected in Walt's glasses. From the time Walt faints until the doctor tells him what's wrong can be a day or several days. In real life, Walt's lung cancer diagnosis would take much longer, often several days to weeks. We have to bend medical realism here for dramatic and narrative momentum. When Walt is throwing matches into the pool, we see him strike one and the flame becomes small. Camera cuts to a close-up and the flame is a lot bigger. Walt accompanies Hank and Gomez on a bust, but civilians are not allowed into DEA vehicles by law. Hank clearly knows this and still breaks the rules. Gomez comments on the name of the suspect, and a white light screen is reflected in his sunglasses. When Emilio goes flying over the counter in the shot from the hallway, there is no beaker and jug on the counter as he goes over it. When the shot changes to inside the room, a jug and beaker are now stood on the counter. When two agents are ready to leave the car, Hank says, "Okay, let's go, Frank."
Stay here a minute.
His partner's name is Steve Gomez, not Frank. When Walt shows up at Jesse's house for the first time and proposes a partnership, you can hear the sound of a freight train in the background.
The DEA took all your money, your lab, square one. But you know the business.
But in all other episodes, Jesse's neighborhood is portrayed as a near-silent suburb.
But the pièce de résistance, a round-bottom boiling flask, 5,000 milliliters.
A 5,000 milliliter round-bottom boiling flask is neither super expensive or hard to come by. Anyone can order glassware, especially if they have a job like a chemistry teacher. Here are some of continuity errors.
From my chemistry class?
No. You flunked me. Prick. And let me tell you something else. What the hell is this?
Lab safety equipment. We're also going to have an emergency eye.
You ever laid eyes on? Go ahead.
Nothing about Walt cooking meth in his undies and a rubber apron makes the slightest bit of sense, starting with the reason he gives for undressing.
You can't go home smelling like a meth lab.
He is a chemistry teacher. He works in a smelly chem lab every day at school. A chemical smell on his clothes is completely normal for him. Also, in preceding scenes, Walt's character is set up to be pedantic, fussy, and safety conscious. As a chemistry teacher, he knows the proper precautions, which are to wear normal length cotton trousers, shirt, closed shoes, and a lab coat, and gloves or other personal protective gear when working with very corrosive substances. Walt throws red phosphorus into hot water to create phosphine gas, but that's just not chemically accurate. Red phosphorus doesn't release phosphine when dropped in boiling water. In real chemistry, you'd need white phosphorus, a strong base, and high temperatures. You can clearly see the cameraman's reflection in Walt's mask here. When Walt briefly considers suicide by shooting himself with the M1911A1, he pulls the trigger to its full extent. In real life, this would not happen if the safety were set on the handgun as indicated in the same scene. The last truck was now ahead of the middle truck after passing Walt. Those trucks, we only had, this is hard to even explain, that was a complete fake out. That last cut, the second truck, it looks like 3 trucks, it's only 2. That's the magic of editing. The middle truck is actually the catering truck, which happened to be yellow, because we only had 2 fire engines. I swear to God, we only had one fire engine showed up one day, and then I got sick, and we lost some days. And they had to, and the Bernalillo Fire Department said, "Screw you, we're not bringing our fire truck back another day. You're shit out of luck." So we got another fire truck, and then we got the catering truck. And through the magic of Lynn's editing, she made it look like 3 trucks. When Walter vomits outside the RV, his mic pack is clearly visible under his shirt. Also, when we see the whole screen, the ground is clean and dusty. Walt's vomit is not there.
I am awake.
Thanks everybody for watching. See you in the next episode. Cat's in the bag. Goodbye.